All right. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name's Hannah Perkey. I'm CEO of Evelo team with Keller Williams Realty. I have Bob here joining me today, and we are doing our monthly market update to bring you up-to-date stats on what's happening in our market here. So we'll go through our normal questions and keep it short and sweet for you guys so you have the info that you need. So Bob, go ahead and tell us what happened in the local housing market in the month of February.
Yeah, so let's just hop right to it. The first one up we always do is that median sales price for our local market. So we ended February at 276.5. That's just a tiny bit up from month over month and about 2.4% year over year. So we'll kind of see how that tracks this year after a few years of double-digit growth. We got back down more into low single-digit growth last year. We'll see if that continues our trend for 2024. Next up is that cumulative days on market. The top bar there is the average, which is 49 days. And then the big numbers here are the median, which is probably the most relevant number, median, right? Being the kind of the midpoint between the high and the low. So we were at 16 for February. So that's down almost 47% month over month and down just about 6% year over year. So in my opinion, we're kind of starting that spring launch, start a little bit early. I think we talked about that in February when we did this. There's several more slides in here that'll kind of be that indicator, right? The next one up is the month supply of inventory. So that's down almost 25% month over month and down 15% year over year. So again, inventory is starting to dwindle a little bit again. And the last one in this first batch here that we take a look at is the percent of list price received. So on average last month, homes sold for 97.5% of list price. That's up a little bit month over month, basically flat year over year. And that's where we're at on that one.
Okay. All right. So the past few months we've been talking through shifting market. A lot of times people have asked like what that looks like. Is it still a seller's market? So what are the other items that you've been tracking to follow the shifting market?
Yeah, after we kind of got out of 2020, 2021, 2022, and started to see things move around a little bit late in 2022 and then again in 2023, we started tracking a few more things. This first one here is active inventory. Again, seeing things plummet. We need more homes for sale, not less homes for sale. But February, we ended with 3,874 active listings. That was down just a tick under 10% month over month and down 15% year over year. Closed sales, that has remained pretty consistent year over year. We were almost 20% higher month over month, but you'll see these kind of spike every single year. I often describe it like a roller coaster, right? You start flat, beginning of every year, you go up, 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 up until we kind of get in the midsummer, late summer, and then we start to dwindle back down as we go into the winter. So that's not entirely unexpected. It's a pretty flat year over year there. The number of new listings has gone up a little bit. That's an interesting one. I think that kind of aligns with that, hey, this upward hill that we're climbing on that roller coaster has started more in February this year, where we might normally see that in March and April. So that is up 20% month over month, and that is up almost 12% over where we were at this time last year. So that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. And then we started tracking the total percent of sales that sold for over list price. If you look back here in 2020, 21, 22, we were up near 50% of every home was selling for over list price. We've obviously come down off of that, but we still will see this spike again this year, and it's probably going to spike pretty quick. But for February, 14.5% of the listings sold for over list price. That was up 17% month over month. And again, that was pretty flat from where we were last year, just a 0.01% difference.
Yeah, it'll be interesting next month to see that stat because I think as realtors, we're feeling that from what we're seeing, especially this past weekend. We felt like you said, spring market full-fledged in action right now. So, okay. All right. What about interest rates? Everyone always wants to know where interest rates are currently.
Indeed. So that interest rate front, it's doing a little up and down on its own. So when we did this last month, we were at 6.63 this year, or this month rather, for the week ending 3/6, which is last week. We were at 6.88 on the average for the 30, 6.22 on average for the 15. So we've gone back up again about 0.25. We are staying below that 7, and we even got pretty close to 8 towards the end of 2023. So you can see here, and it's a little harder to see on screen, we've had these little ups, downs, ups, down, ups, downs. So I think we'll continue to see that for a little bit. The general consensus among the experts are that we should continue to see that decline this year. Again, we're not going back to like 3 and 4% interest rates, but the hope is maybe we get a little bit closer to 6 rather than closer to 7 where we're at right now.
Okay, great. All right, man, we are like good at this. We're efficient, Bob. I like it. That's some good stats there for everyone. So what about final thoughts? Anything to wrap us up as we finish this update here?
Yeah, we always kind of try to, end with something. I think people starting maybe in Q4 of one year and into Q1, they always think that spring market's the most ideal spot to sell. Wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. Home sell all year long. But if you've been looking to sell and wondering if now is a good time, the short answer is it is, right? And what is the predominant factor for that, right? The number of new listings is up, which was kind of the only stat that was up, but the active inventory was down considerably. And the overall inventory levels, again, balanced market being about a 4 to 5 month supply of inventory. We're floating right at 2, a little bit under 2 months supply of inventory. So we are still way undersupplied compared to where we were prior to the pandemic. And like I said, both today and last month, a little bit, we're already starting to see that spike. So if you've been thinking about it, I'd say now's at least the time to reach out, get the ball rolling, and kind of figure out what might be the best time to match what your needs are, calendar wise, school wise, when you need to be in your next place, and we can kind of come up with a game plan to help you get there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, great info. I appreciate you prepping all of that today, and hopefully that's valuable to you guys that are out there watching. Just to give you some quick stats about different factors that will impact if you're buying or selling. So if you have any questions about that, want some clarification, we'd love to hop on a phone call. You can reach us at any time. Our team number is 317-863-9011. You can call or text that. You can also shoot us an email at info@eveloteam.com, which we'll put in the comments here. And that's it. We hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Stay dry if you're in the northeast side of Indy with the rain today. And we will talk with you next month. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.